Okay, boys and girls, this time we are going to make a stem and leaf plot for organizing our data. And then we are also going to find the mean, median, mode, and range of that set of data. All right, so a stem and leaf plot, first of all, is going to start out with a T-chart. But you first need to put your data in order from least to greatest. So this time we are working with a set of numbers that has 20. We are making a stem and leaf plot on the number of states 20 people have visited. Okay, so we first need to put our information in order from least to greatest. All right, so let's see. Looks like my smallest number or the least number of states people have visited is 2. And I see a 2 here and a 2 here. And I think that's it. It looks like I have a 3. So somebody visited 3 states. I'm going to have to squeeze all this information in here. Somebody visited 5 states. I had somebody who visited 8 and someone who visited 9. I have 2 people that visited 10. There's a 10 there and a 10 there. So 2 people have visited 10 states each. I have someone who has visited 12. Someone who has visited 14. I have 3 people that have visited 15. 15, 15, 15. 1 15, 2 15s, 3 15s. All right, I'm going to have to continue on another row. I have a person who has visited 18 states. I have a person who has visited 20 states. Someone who has visited 22. And also 26. And also 30 states. That's a lot. 40 states. And someone has visited almost all of them. 48. Wonder if they're missing. You think that they're an adventurer? Maybe. Maybe they have that as like their bucket list to visit all states. All right, so we have 20 people and the amount of states that they have visited. So we should have 20 numbers in our data set once we have rearranged them. So I'm just going to make sure I have 20 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so everything is accounted for. All right. You have 21 numbers? Then you have something in there more than it should be. So just double check. You should have 2, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 10, 12, 14, 15, 15, 15, 18, 20, 22, 26, 30, 40, 48. Maybe you just didn't count correctly. 20? You good? Okay. All right. So all of my numbers are here. And I am going to make a stem and leaf plot of this information. So I first need a title for my stem and leaf plot. I'm going to call my stem and leaf plot, I'm going to say we're going to say states. I could spell it, states visited. All right, so that's going to be my title. And then I need a T-chart something similar to this. Okay, and I am going to write the word stem here and the word leaf over here. And remember, a stem and leaf plot, the stem is our number in the tens place, okay? Or if we had a 3-digit number, it would be the number in the hundreds and tens place. And our leaf is always the digit that is in the ones place, all right? So we are going to have, our lowest number is a 2. So it's a single digit, so our stem would be what? 0. Okay, so we need a stem of 0. And our largest number is 48, and that stem would be 4. So we need to make sure that we have our stems 0 through 4 represented. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to have to make my line a little bit longer. All right. So now we can start making our stem and leaf plot. So we have 2 2s, so we need a 2 and another 2, and I'm going to cross off as we go along. We have a 3, a 5, an 8, and a 9. All right. Now we're getting into our double digits, or our 2-digit numbers. So all of our numbers that are in the teens have a 1, or I shouldn't say teens, but in our range from 10 to 19 are going to have the stem of 1. So we have 2 10s. So I'm going to need a 0 and a 0. And a 2 for my 12. A 4 for my 14. I have 3 5s. For my 15s. Okay. And then I have an 18. Okay. You with me so far? Okay. All right. Then I'm moving on to the numbers that are in the 20s. They have a stem of 2. So I need my 0 to represent the 20, my 22, and my 26. I have a 30. So I just have one number in the 30s. And I have a 40 and a 48. So how many numbers did we have in our set? 20. How many leaves should we have? 20. So let's make sure we have all 20 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay. We need a key. And our key simply can just look like this. We could say 1 and 8 means 18. Okay. And now we need to figure out the mean, median, mode, and range. All right. So I am going to scoot this down a little bit. And I'm going to keep it like this. All right. So states visited. All right. Mean, median, mode, and range. Let's see. Mean, median, mode, and range. I always like to start with the mode because I find that it is the easiest to find, because you're simply looking for the number that shows up the most. Okay, and in this case, which number shows up the most? 15. All right, we have 3 15s. You can see that right here. Okay. All right, so our mode is 15. Well, let me change pens. All right. The next easiest thing to find is the range, in my opinion. And that is simply the highest number. It's the difference between the highest and the lowest numbers. So you find the highest number, and on a stem and leaf plot, it's super easy to find because it is the last number. If I could get my pen to work, my computer's being super laggy today. Just trying to get the highlighter. Doesn't want to work for me. There we go. All right, so my biggest number is, whoops. All right, 48, and my smallest number is 2. Okay, so 48 minus 2 is 46. And before, in our line plot video, we were working with a really small range. Our range was 7. Okay, here our range is 46. So this is why a line plot would not be the best way to display this information. Okay, you would have to have a lot of numbers on that line for your line plot. So when your range is large, you need to be working with a stem and leaf, and my computer is not cooperating. So here we go. All right, again, we had 48 minus 2, which is 46. Let's try that again. All right. The median is the number that is in the middle. And again, we had 20 numbers in our set, so we're going to have 2 numbers in the middle. All right. I am going to start taking numbers off of each end, starting with 2. So here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here. And I am just working my way toward the center of my data. So therefore, these 2 numbers right here are in the middle. Let me just make sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers on this side of my 4. And I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers on this side of my 5. So these 2 numbers that I am putting the rectangle around are in the middle. So 14 and 15. If I add them together, that's going to give me 29. And 29 divided by 2 is 14.5. Okay, or 14 and 5/10. And you can definitely tell what is halfway between 14 and 15. 14 and a half, or 14 and 5/10. So my median is 14 and a half. And my mean, which always takes the longest to figure out, so I save it for last. And I'm going to shrink down the calculator, maybe. All right, let me slide it over here. And I am going to start with 2. So I'm going to add, I'm just going to go right down my list of numbers, and I'm going to add that all together. All right, so 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 14 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 18 plus 20 plus 22 plus 26 plus 30 plus 40 plus 48 equals 324. Okay. 324. Again, that is not our answer because we don't even have 324 states. That wouldn't make any sense. So we're going to take that 324 and divide it. If you think about it, 324 is the total number of states all those 20 people have visited. That's the total number of states. When you divide it by 20, let me write this down real quick. 324 divided by the 20 people. We're going to get an average. Okay, so a number between 2 and 48. All right, or a fair share. So 324 divided by 20, and we're going to get a decimal number here. 16.2, okay, or 16 and 2/10. So on average, we would say 16 and 2/10. I would round that to the nearest whole number, and I would say 16 states were visited on average. Okay, that doesn't mean everybody visited 16 states. It just means on average, that's how many states those 20 people have visited. Obviously, some were less than 16 and some were more than 16. Okay, it's an average. Think about your grades when you get your grades on your report card. Your average is telling you approximately what grade you get most of the time. It's an average of all of your grades. Okay, sometimes you score below that and sometimes you score above that. Okay, but it is your average or the mean. All right, so that is that. Just please make sure that you are focusing on the 4 things: the mean, median, mode, and range, and how to get those answers in a set of data. All right.